Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into a really profound, honestly mind-bending concept from the Bhagavad Gita, specifically chapter 13, verse 22. Have you ever wondered why we constantly go through changes, why we're endlessly pushed around by our own desires, or the whole idea behind the cycle of rebirth? Well, it all comes down to the relationship between our eternal consciousness, the kshetrabhya, and the shifting, restless material world, which is made up of the gunas of Prakriti. I know, it sounds super complex right out of the gate, but the source material uses this brilliant, everyday analogy to break it down. Let's get right into it.
It's one of the biggest mysteries of human existence, right? Why do we experience this constant change and these never-ending desires, getting pulled into what Eastern philosophy calls the endless cycle of rebirth? Well, think of it this way. Right now, you are essentially wandering through a massive cosmic bazaar, and you've got this hidden shopping list in your pocket that's keeping you trapped in a loop. But to really grasp how this dictates your day-to-day life, we first need to figure out exactly who is holding that list. Section 1. The illusion of individuality.
Okay, to understand this whole cosmic bazaar, we've got to look at a stark contrast in who is actually doing the shopping. On one side, you have pure consciousness, or the kshetragya. This is the static, timeless light that just illuminates everything. It doesn't act, it just is. But on the other side, we have this illusory individuality. You see, when pure consciousness starts functioning through the realm of matter, our physical body, our mind, and our intellect, which is called the kshetra, an illusion is born. This creates a time-bound ego. It's the part of you that suffers, experiences all those dramatic ups and downs, and constantly chatters away in your head. It floats in time, and as we know, time literally never stops changing.
The Sanskrit word for this individualized ego is the jiva. Think of the jiva as that pure consciousness getting all tangled up in a constantly shifting web of thoughts and time. The jiva is the one actually experiencing the mental chatter. It's our illusory shopper wandering around the cosmic bazaar.
Section 2. Driven by the past. So what exactly compels this jiva to keep moving, life after life? Well, step 1 is when the mind or ego, also called the subtle body, or sukshma sharir, leaves the current physical body. But here's the thing, it doesn't just disappear. Because it's deeply attached to past desires and unfulfilled cravings, which are known as vasanas, the subtle body actually migrates. So in step 2, it actively goes searching for a new physical form, one that perfectly matches its ongoing needs and cravings. And finally, in step 3, it enters a new body specifically to exhaust those accumulated desires. Your attachment to these material qualities, the gunas, is the direct cause of being born again and again.
Section 3. The Cosmic Shopping List.
And this brings us to an absolutely brilliant analogy from the text. It says, with a shopping list when you go to the bazaar, you enter one shop to exhaust those desires. I want you to think of these past attachments, these deep-seated vasanas, strictly as items on a literal, handwritten shopping list that you carry around with you into the world's grand bazaar. In this view, every single lifetime, every interaction, is really just you walking into a store, desperately trying to check items off your list. The whole routine is remarkably systematic. You walk into a specific shop just to check off maybe 2 or 3 items. Once those experiences are purchased and you tick them off, you don't just stand around, right? Your list dictates exactly where you need to go next. You find the next appropriate shop and you walk right in. It sounds super productive. You're exhausting your desires. But just like going to the grocery store for a carton of milk and leaving with a cart full of stuff you didn't need, there is a massive catch.
Section 4. The never-ending bazaar.
Here's the trap, and this is what keeps us caught in the cycle. In the very act of crossing off one desire, we get completely distracted. You enter a shop to fulfill one specific desire, but while you're in there, you spot something shiny on a new shelf, or you suddenly remember another item you want. The result? You add a brand new desire to the list. You tick off the items you bought, sure, but when you look down, the list has actually gotten longer. We are endlessly adding to our list in this completely absurd loop. It's literally like trying to empty a bucket of water while someone else is pouring a hose right into it.
And the cycle is just relentless. When total exhaustion finally hits from all this endless wandering around, you gather your bundles, check into a motel, and just sleep. Now, in this profound analogy, that motel sleep represents death. It's merely a temporary rest stop. Because that list? It's still right there in your pocket. So you wake up the next morning, which represents rebirth, and you run right back out into the bazaar to keep on shopping. Crazy, right?
Section 5. Cutting the list.
Fortunately, there is a practical way out of this trap. Because let's face it, the solution isn't to buy everything on the list. That's mathematically impossible. The real way out is intelligent discrimination. You review the items, and instead of just blindly acting on them, you actually use your intellect. You look at a craving and realize, you know what? This is completely unnecessary, and you ruthlessly draw a line right through it without having to experience it or buy it. You keep only the one or two truly vital things.
By actively cutting out these endless distractions through discrimination, we eliminate the pressure of the vasanas entirely. When the list is finally empty, not because you bought everything, but because you intelligently crossed out the foolish cravings, you literally have no reason to be in the bazaar anymore. You can step out of the marketplace entirely, returning home to that state of pure, unchanging consciousness.
So it leaves us with a pretty profound choice, doesn't it? Will you keep blindly accumulating items, chasing after every new shiny distraction the world puts on the shelf? Or are you ready to use your intellect, cross off those unnecessary desires, and finally break the cycle to return home? Think about it. Next time you feel that overwhelming urge for something new, ask yourself, is this truly necessary, or am I just adding another meaningless item to my cosmic shopping list?